Hello, church. I feel compelled today to make a short statement about the brutal killing of George Floyd. I would have loved to make this statement yesterday during the Sunday service, but when we recorded the service, I didn't have the full details of what was going on in America. I want to start by saying categorically that the killing of George Floyd was a brutal, cruel, and racist killing. It was wrong. It was unjust. And it was totally unnecessary. And unfortunately, it was carried out by officers who took an oath to protect people like George. I'm glad that the officer has now been arrested and charged, but I believe they should also charge the other officers who stood by and let it happen. I call to sensible people everywhere, irrespective of your color or your race, to call for justice for the victim and his family. I'm making this call because, as Christ followers, we have a responsibility to call out injustice and to confront unfairness wherever it happens. Like a friend of mine said recently, injustice anywhere breeds injustice everywhere. So if you're a member of the King's House, I want to encourage you to do three things. Number one, I want you to register your disapproval wherever you can. Maybe on Facebook, maybe on Twitter, maybe on any of the other platforms that you use. The reason why I'm asking you to do this is because we have a duty as Christians to fight for those who can't fight for themselves in society. It has been said that evil triumphs when good people do nothing. So remind as many people as you can that every life matters to God and Black lives matter too. Secondly, I want you to resist and reject racism in all its ugly forms from your life. I say that because some people have started to talk as if every white person is guilty of the crime of that officer. That's not true, and that's not fair. So let's not become guilty of the very same thing that we are accusing others of doing. Please be a voice of reason because you are a child of God. Thirdly, I want to ask you to take a few minutes this week to pray for the victims of racism all over the world, but especially George Floyd's family and friends. Recently, I found out that he has a daughter as well. So I want you to pray for the comfort of the Holy Spirit in these places. I want you to pray for healing, for reconciliation, and for forgiveness. And I want you to pray for the different cities in America, especially, that are experiencing riots and disturbances, and pray that the peace of God would come to those cities and that the riots would cease very soon. Also, I want to encourage you to pray that the authorities will make the right decisions, that God will give them wisdom, and that they will make sure that justice is not only seen to be done, but it's actually done for the people that deserve it. Pray also that in spite of the trauma and the anger of the people, that God will touch hearts and that people will be healed and that people will be restored and maybe even people will be saved. Finally, it's okay to be angry when we see blatant disregard for life. But it's also important to continue to be the light of the world and the salt of the earth. Thank you for listening. Stay richly blessed.